Hi, it's Deanna, and I'm almost embarrassed to be making this video right now, but what the heck? Hey, I'm a real person, and I'm just gonna kick it to you guys real. So I have an obsession right now, and I go through like little things like this with collecting. So right now I have an obsession with Zotty style bears, and this is like a small collection I just started. So right now I only have four of them, and five more will be arriving soon that I ordered. And pretty soon I'll probably have 100 more because when I get like this, I have to have one in every size, every shape, every color, and until I get sick of it, and then I sell it, and then I go on to the next obsession. And that's how it is sometimes with antique collecting, or vintage things, that you get into. You just like, I don't know, you just, when you start, you just like get so passionate about it and so excited that you just can't control yourself. You become like a little monster, and you have to like find every single example of every single thing that was made in that style, or that, particular year, or whatever, the company that made a certain thing. You just like go out on a tangent. So now I'm in this Zotty style bear mode. And for anyone who hasn't seen my other videos showing these Zotty faced bears, I'll explain what they are. So in 1951, Steiff in Germany, who made little mohair animals and bears, came out with a bear called Zotty. And it was basically like teddy bears before the 50s looked more realistic. And starting in about 1950 and after, teddy bears, the style and the fashion of them were changing. And they started to look a little bit more like cartoonish, like less bear-like. And so they started making bears with shorter arms, rounder heads, no little hunchback or hump in the back. And they started to get a little silly looking. And so that's what happened. So Steiff started making the Zotty bear in 1951. And shortly after that, other German toy manufacturers started to copy that. And one of them was Gerbruder Hermann, and he made his own version of the Zotty faced bear with these little open mouths that almost makes them look like they're smiling or laughing. And these are all Hermann bears with that Zotty style. And so I'll show you some of my collection. So the one on the left here, this little guy, is probably about late 1950s, early 60s. And he was made not of mohair like these guys here, but he was made of Draylon, I believe, and it was like a synthetic plush. And so it's like a man-made material. And he's cute. He's really, really cute. So let me show you. He has a little open mouth. He has those amber plastic little eyes. And he has that cute little impish little grin on his face. I gave him a replica Kaiser Wilhelm World War I Iron Cross to wear around his neck because he is German. And I thought it's like it adds to him. And so that's this little guy. And he also squeaks. So when you squeeze his little tummy, he makes squeaking sounds. And I love it. And he's jointed. So like his head swivels and his arms and legs swivel. The next little guy was probably made again in the 1950s, 1960s by Hermann. And as you can see, he has all the features as the other one, except for he has mohair. And mohair was made out of, I believe, a goat or a sheep, or it's some kind of animal. And so this one has glass eyes. And he has a little airbrushed mouth, stitched nose and mouth. And he has the felt paw pads like the other ones. And like he squeaks as well. So that's my other little guy. And then, my favorite out of all of them happens to be this one. And he's probably an older one. He's probably the late 1950s and possibly maybe like 1960. And he's pretty amazing because he's actually, I'll show you. So he's amazing because of this. So let me turn him around and show you. So on the back, he has a little key, like a key wind up. And when you wind him up, whoops, he fell over. I'll show you what he does. And I showed you these bears in another video, so if you're watching it again, I apologize. But for those of you who haven't seen this, this is pretty cool. And his tune just stopped. But he plays a song called Colonel Bogey. It's a march. And I believe it's like a British soldier marching song. And it's really, really sweet. And he has gorgeous amber eyes. He has his original Herman Teddy original tag hanging from his neck with this adorable little, I don't know if you can see it, dog collar with a buckle. And I think that makes him even more adorable. And he has his original little hang tag, and it's a little worn, but I placed it in a plastic pouch just to keep it protected, because you don't generally find these bears with their original tags and stuff, so I wanted to preserve it. And he's just adorable, and he's articulated, so his head swivels, his legs and his arms swivel as well, and he's in great shape. You know, he has a little wear on his mohair, but that's quite common. So then next is my largest out of all of them. And this one is, again, he's probably like an earlier one. He's probably from the 1950s. And his mouth is open the widest. So it looks like he's actually giggling or laughing. And as you can see, he has an airbrushed mouth. He has these gigantic paws. He has adorable ears, a stitched nose and mouth, and those felt paw pads again. And he has a squeaker in his tummy, but unfortunately it does not work. And so this is my Zotty bear collection, and it's growing by the day. And pretty soon I'm going to have no more room for all these Zotty bears, because I'm a psycho when it comes to collecting certain things. And knowing me, I'm going to get so sick of Zotty bears or Zotty face bears that I'm going to probably end up listing them all on Etsy, selling every single one of them, and start a new obsession collecting something else. So once again, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks for watching.